Dear friends, brothers and sisters, in today's liturgy we get inspiration from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 19, verses 11 to 28. And it's about the parable of the talents, or the gifts. Dear friends, we hear of how a nobleman went to faraway country and he entrusted the amount of coins, of pounds, of talents, of gifts to his servants. This is what God actually did with each one of us. He has entrusted us, He gave us the best, created us in the image and likeness of God, and He has entrusted us with the wisdom, with the energy, with the strength to use well whatever is around us. He has given us material gifts, spiritual gifts, moral gifts, economical gifts, and a lot of gifts that we can't count. However small or big, gifts are gifts, talents are talents. What are we using with the gifts and talents and the life and the time that God has given us? Wherever I am, in the family, in the community, am I just sitting idle? Or am like the other servants who received the 10 and multiplied the 10, and when the master came, they gave another 10? Or I'm like the one who received the 5 and gave another 5, gave back another 5 which had multiplied. And instead we are going today to reflect on the one who received the 1 coin and decided to bury it. Remember, the master gave all these gifts to each one according to his and her ability. He knew that this one could manage this, and that's what God has done to each one of us. No one can say I've received nothing. No, God has given you what you have according to your ability. He has given me what I have according to my ability, and the gifts you have are different from the gifts I have. The gifts I have are different from the gifts you have. All of us have been given many gifts, and nobody can say that I don't have any gift. So let's reflect today on the one who had 1 coin and buried it because of fear. This man who received 1 coin engaged it out of fear. He hid it instead of making it grow, making it fructify it, making the best of that 1 talent. It could have multiplied more. In other words, he didn't use it because of fear. Fear, dear friends, kills us before we are dead. When we fear, we die. And this is how this man feared. Imagine, he feared the master who loves him, who gave him the gifts, and you fear him. And that was his big mistake of fear. Yes, it's natural to fear, yes, but when it comes to God, of course, that is reverence. Yeah, when it comes to God, who has powered us with a lot of gifts, fear kills us before we die, because with God, we open up ourselves to Him and say, Lord, here I am. Do with me whatever you want me to do. And actually, the problem about his fear is that he misunderstood the master. He misunderstood God. He misunderstood the giver. He looked at God. He created his own image in his mind, in his heart. Sometimes we too create a lot of images about things which are not even there, towards people, towards others, towards the people we love. We create a lot of images, and we keep, and those creation of negative images which are not even true keep eating us up and burning us up. And the best way to really solve this is to confront ourselves with the others, and then we realize, so that was just a mere image I created in my mind. So this, he created he created fear because of misunderstanding the master's intention. And that is exactly the mistake that he did. He looked at the master as harsh, as rude, one who is not even good at him. He created all this. If somebody is not good, how could he even give him even 1 coin? And this is the image, negative image he created in his mind. Do we create negative images in our minds towards people, towards God, towards situations? Or we look for the best even when I have little? Of course, his reason was because he received one, and it was all because of maybe the jealousy. He saw others receiving many, 5, 10, and he said, well, no, the one could have even brought out even more than even those who received 5. But he acted out of fear and began accusing the master. This is the problem when we begin accusing others as well. Instead of focusing on ourselves and working on ourselves and bring out the best in us of ourselves. So this difference, this parable of the lost coin represents wasted opportunity. The Lord gives us every moment, even right now, opportunity to use our words well, to heal others, to use our actions well, to use our hands well, to use our lives well, to heal others. What do we use with the opportunity, with the chance that God gives me now? The lost coin is a wasted opportunity. When we don't use our talents, we waste our opportunity. We bury our opportunity. We bury our talents. The barren coin also represents the unused gifts. God has given us many gifts and we don't use them. And the gifts, if we don't use them, we lose them. We lose the gifts when we don't use them. We lose the talents when we don't use them. This barren coin also represents the life that we live with fear. We are driven with fear, not love, not passion for the good, not optimism, but we are driven with fear, with pessimism. Instead of being positive, we are negative. The barred coin also represents the shrinking, the becoming small of life instead of its growth, instead of its expansion. Life is supposed to expand and share blessings with all, goodness with all. But when we bury the coin, when we bury our talents, we shrink, we deprive others of the goodness that comes from God. Dear friends, we hide our talents when we hide our abilities because of fear, because of comparison, because of self-doubt. I doubt myself. We hide and bury our talents today. When we are lazy, also we hide our talents. And one thing to keep in mind is that when we also don't take risks, especially in things that are positive about life. I'm not saying that you have to take a risk by going to fall into the fire unless you are going to save someone. But there are some things which are clear that here I don't need to take a risk. The mind will tell us, the heart will tell us. So we hide our talents and we don't develop in our lives when we fear to take risks. When we don't risk anything for the good, we never grow. Have the courage to say, let me try it out. Let me use my mind, my energy. Let me put my heart into what I'm doing, even if it is difficult. Let me bring out the best from what is happening right now. Many talents and many lives shrink, not because of lack of gifts, but because of fear, of criticism, uncertainty, and laziness. We bury our talents when we don't train them, when we don't use them, when we don't invest them. This parable invites us to develop our talents, to share our talents, and to do good to all with the gifts that we have received, however small or big they are. Here are some more lessons that when we bury our talents and our gifts, we bury ourselves and we are as good as nothing. Our presence doesn't make anything to anyone. And yet our mission in life is to see that with my life, every second, every moment, I bring meaning to the lives of others. Of course, my meaning too. I do good to others. That's our mission every day. Another lesson is that fear kills growth. And so we are invited to grow. But when we fear, we don't grow. And what we do not use, we lose it. And also another lesson is that everything, small or big as it is, matters. So don't underestimate the power of a small talent, of a small gift that we have received. What is important, however, is to make good use of the gifts, to be aware of the gifts I have, to use it, to develop it, so that it can multiply and do good to others. I have taught someone something and I realized that he built on that and became a professional. I'm talking about music. Greetings from Jerusalem, dear friends.